Does this rival Catwoman? I think that's a legit question right now.
I don't know.
It is a legit question. It's different eras.
Right. But Halle Berry, like Jason Momoa, gave that film everything she had. Like, I watched Catwoman thinking, like, about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes in, I feel sorry for you.
Right.
That you had to be in this. Because she gave it everything, but it was so horrible.
I'll say, my opinion on this is I think this is worse because there are so many reasons now to know what you should be doing to make a good superhero movie.
Okay.
Welcome to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. Watch the movie and then let's huddle up and talk about it.
Or don't.
Today, we're going to talk about Aquaman 2.
Ugh.
Right out the gate with it.
Yes, the subtitle, let's just get it over with.
The kingdom should have remained lost.
In Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, we find Jason Momoa's underwater superhero juggling the roles of fatherhood, planning a wedding, nurturing his newborn son, but evil lurks waiting to attack him and his entire world.
Hi, baby boy. Talking to the fishies? You and me, son, we're different. We're special. I can't wait to introduce you to all the majestic creatures on our planet and show you how awesome this world can be.
Free me from my prison, and all my power will be yours.
Let's not hold back.
All right, so immediate takes that I put on social media was a turd sandwich with turd cheese. It's a wannabe Ragnarok from Temu. It's Black Panther from Wish.
Yeah.
It is 2 hours. I'm not going to get back. It was over-dramatic score. The score did not match the movie at all. Like, it was way too dramatic. It felt like I was watching a late 90s, early 2000s superhero movie with an over-dramatic score, but with just a little bit updated technology. The CGI was like watching a cartoon.
I felt a lot of cartoon and like storylines and what you were seeing I would expect on a cartoon.
It had way too much Amber Heard. Hold on. Let me cook.
Keep going. I'm holding back.
The amount of weird edits that just messed up the entire continuity to make it so convoluted because they're trying to avoid putting Amber Heard in there when they should have just come up with a different idea or recast or reshot or just done something different.
She's at her bachelorette party. Just say she went to...
It was so...
New Orleans.
Bad. It was so bad. I had low expectations going into this movie, but I was sitting next to Gover, and he heard my loud sighs multiple times.
Let's get some quiet. Let me try to reenact it. Okay. This is what we hear. Okay, so give me like some sort of dramatic line of some kind.
Oh, can I give you...
Stay away from my son!
You know what line made me go? Okay, correct me if I heard this wrong, but David Kane as Manta, I'm going to kill me some dead mermaid. I think he said that.
I don't think it was Dead Mermaid.
He half killed her, like he seriously wounded Amber Heard's character, and I swear he said, "I'm gonna kill me some dead mermaid," and I'm like, wait, that's like a double negative of death. Like, what are you doing in that sentence?
Jim, I am not going to volunteer to see this a second time to validate whether or not that's accurate or not.
No, we'll wait till it comes out on streaming.
Tell me in the comments.
Fast forward to that one.
Tell me in the comments, and let me know because
Jim, stop encouraging people to go see this movie.
I know.
That's
why at the beginning.
This is only for victims who are maybe trying to get through this through some kind of immersion therapy.
Can we stop for 1 second? We have blasted this movie from since this podcast started with you said go watch then come listen. I was like, well, or don't. So like it's right out the gate.
Yeah.
So just real quick, just play devil's advocate here.
All right, go
Is
for
there anything positive?
Jason Momoa was Jason Momoa. He's lovable. His comedic timing is fun. It's funny. He can deliver lines really well. It's just time to move on because he needs to do bigger and better things. Him in Fast and Furious is a perfect fun villain that is completely kooky and unique. I loved him in Fast and Furious.
He was awesome.
He is so awesome and fun, and I love his personality, the way he interacts with fans and everything. Leave the DCU. Please don't come back.
Jason Momoa is the only reason I did not leave the theater.
Yeah, bigger and better things for Jason Momoa.
He's so likable.
Very likable.
And like as a person, as an actor, he's very fun and charismatic. So yeah, let's give it up for Jason Momoa keeping us from running to the exits.
I thought the performances were good by just about everybody, but for what they had, right? Like Tamara Morrison was fine. Nicole Kidman was, except for her first line.
You mean in their five
really
lines?
rough.
The 5 lines they both had?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
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 Jason
Yeah.
Momoa was fine. Who's the brother? I can't remember.
Patrick Wilson.
Thank you.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. He distracts me usually in all kinds of films, but
Because he overacts.
Yeah.
Right, but in this particular case, he was fine.
He's like a Patagonia version of Bob Odenkirk. He's so distracting. Because
You are going to get some hate because there
I
are
don't
lots
care.
of Patrick Wilson stands.
I get
So
it.
I know.
No, he's like a generic, good-looking guy, and
who can act a little.
who can act a little. And
Why'd you do movie?
and he
Paul
did
Patrick?
he did a terrible movie here. And yeah, we're not talking about his other bad choices in scripts.
I'm just saying that actually, I'll take that back. Every performance except for his bridge commander. What was that lady that she had way too many lines for someone who cannot act? Whatever the lady
Stingray?
Is that
Yeah,
her?
Stingray,
Is that her
who's the leader of the
character?
ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stingray.
Yeah.
She's like, go arrest them. And I was
Yes.
like, did you get cut out of a high school film class? Like, are you the teacher of a high school film class and they had to fill this role? So it was awful. Like, every
was
time
so
she was
bad.
like, I can see if that's like a friend of the filmmaker and they want to work him in the movie and they give him one line. It's like, okay, like still stupid, but okay. She had like 8 or 9 different lines.
Okay, we go over important question. How was the baby?
The baby
That's a child actor.
was surprisingly great.
Great timing.
Yes.
Great timing on the screaming and
Yep.
All right,
Talking
the
to
giggles.
Fish was excellent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You're right. The fish seemed pissed in the fish
They
tank.
did.
They're like,
because they had to be in the movie.
He's right. They're going like, we need better Asians. All right, let me give it up to Rand. I kind of liked Randall Park in this movie.
It threw me off. I didn't know he was in it.
Me neither. As the scientist, he wasn't great, but he had nothing to work with, and
nobody else did either.
And he's likable. He's a likable guy.
He is likable guy.
And
I have a question though. What is the standard for Marvel MCU actors coming over to be in DCEU projects?
It's a lot looser now. It used to be where you couldn't cross over.
Right, because Marvel's probably like,
Right.
okay, if you really want to, you go right ahead. No one's going to see
Right.
this crap
right,
anyway.
yeah, exactly. If you want to hurt your own reputation,
Right.
go on over to
Right.
the
Yeah,
DC.
go get your paycheck. That's fine.
Yeah. Now, I don't think either universe has any clout.
There's only
I know, I'm
there
saying
are
I
only
got to
so
that.
many actors too. When you put out
That's
so
not true.
much content,
You go to LA and you tell me there's only so many actors. There's only
there are
people that would
so
die to be in
many
these movies.
decent actors that can handle being in a big film.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
And when you only have so many to choose from to handle roles, there's going to be crossover because now with the MCU, there's been a ton that have been in it. Like it's one of those things we're looking at. Okay, who hasn't been in
Right.
a Marvel film now,
Right.
even as like a cameo piece?
Yeah.
So many people have been in it.
It's kind of like the degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like it's not far.
But
Because
if there were a case for why you need to reboot everything DC's doing, Aquaman was it. Blue Beetle was fun. At least it was fun. It
was. Yeah,
It was
it was.
fun. It was lovable. The family was lovable. There was a lot of fun with Blue Beetle, and it wasn't oversold. It didn't have all the trouble, the animosity, the tea associated with it because of who was in it. Blue Beetle was fun. Aquaman was trash.
Yeah, there were 700 villains. I didn't know half of them. They didn't tell you who or why they were bad
convoluted.
people. There was 150 million locations.
They listed them all in the credits,
They
too.
did.
Yeah.
Antarctica was one. So time out for a second. Props to those who got to go to Antarctica. Not many people get to say that.
He's really trying to spin something positive. I'm shocked.
That's pretty cool.
I'm really shocked at Gover right now. He's trying to find something positive so he can clip something, put him in the limelight, and we both get in trouble, Jim.
No, not at all. Here's why. Because people are going to, and at the end of the day, I don't care. But people are going to be like, oh, you just wanted to not like it. I cannot, I'm looking at the camera. I cannot stress this enough. It's trash on a stick. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And
it's an amber turd.
It's a flimsy stick, too.
Nice. If you remember.
No one's ever done that one before.
No. Yeah, if you remember correctly, right? I also I was not excited about Blue Beetle. So much so that I lobbied this show to not do it. And then we went, my son and I went, and it was actually, like, you know, it was enjoyable. It was all right.
It was a decent movie.
Again, you've seen it all before, but it was, you know, this was another level of suck.
Garbage.
It was terrible.
It just kept going and going and going. And just knowing the structure of movies, I'm like, oh no, there's like 14 more things that have to happen before they're finally going to get to some kind of eventual showdown.
It's not even the third act yet. What is going on?
I looked at my phone when the credits rolled, and I was like, it's got to be. We went to a 7 o'clock showing, just for those who don't know. 7 o'clock showing. I looked at my phone. I thought it was like 10:30.
Yeah.
It was 9. It felt so long.
If you do intend to see this, please do not spend the extra money on 3D or IMAX. It just...
No. It can't make up for anything that they've done.
Nope.
You know, I've heard that if you see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in 4DX, that you can feel the water coming off of, like, you know, icicles and stuff. And then when Amber Heard shows up on camera, like, court transcripts come out from underneath the seats just to scare you.
Anyways, final thoughts and scores?
That sounds good to me.
Sure.
Let's wrap this baby up.
Who wants to go first? All right, final scores.
Do we have to do this?
Who has... Have we ever had negative numbers? I don't know. Let's find out.
I had a 1.5 for Transformers: Rise of the Beasts,
and I think I gave Violent Night a 2. That may have been the lowest score I went with. But let's see if we can top it.
Or bottom it.
Or bottom it. This is Jim, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a tragic waste of the human spirit. And
that's going to be on the Blu-ray cover.
If you have relatives staying with you for the holidays that you don't like, send them to Aquaman. I'm going to give this movie a 3.
Oh, man.
And that's only because of Jason Momoa. I literally, 20 minutes into the movie, I would have walked out.
Really?
Yeah. I really just, I'm like, there's no way this is going to get so much better than what I've seen in 20 minutes.
They're not going to Tarantino it?
Right.
And all of a sudden,
more feet?
No. Oh, no.
All right.
Okay.
I need another score to see where I am.
I'll be happy to give it to you.
Relatively.
So, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, 1.5. That's the worst movie I've seen.
Gover's lowest score
in 2023. Okay. The only way this does not beat that is because of Jason Momoa. And again, the performances overall were, again, with what they had, were okay, right?
Yeah.
Except for First Command Lady. So I give Aquaman, the Lost Kingdom, a 2. Easily story, script writing, the awkward editing Bradford, I think, mentioned, the twists and turns that were completely needless. They basically wrote a script, and like, it'll be really cool right here is if we put a twist in there. And you go, okay, we'll do that. And they do that. And then somebody else a couple weeks later, you know what we should do? We should totally get the audience. We just put another twist in there. They go, okay. And then
that went on for years.
Shooting, and they're like, you know what'd be cool is if the brother turned. And you go, okay, let's do that. And but
then he doesn't.
I know. And then he doesn't. And then, it's just unbelievable. So, yeah, 2.0. I'll just stop groaning on and on about it.
I probably should have given it a 2. But I'll stick with my original 3.
So, as we've all said, Jason Momoa is likable. And if anything saved any grace
Yes.
for this film whatsoever.
Can you imagine him not in this?
I was just expecting Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson to do Get Help at one point.
but he doesn't like it.
It's
humiliating.
Yeah. And then there was a point at the end where they're doing all these really, really bad fake news reports. Like,
they're
like, can movies like this not just make it look like what a news broadcast would look like? It's not that difficult. It's on every day. Some have 24/7 news coverage. Just make it look like the real news instead of the cheese factor we're getting out on here.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves is Hollywood. Have you ever even looked at a television?
Just please do that. Okay. And that's where I thought, well, it's Black Panther. Kingdom that nobody knew existed before. I'm not pointing at anything. I'm just talking with my hands over.
This was 800 movies.
It was so many things that were just inspired by awfully.
Actually, it's more like stolen from
all the time.
Borrowed.
Yeah.
The score. I'm the music nerd when it comes to movie music, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could not roll my eyes any harder with the overdramatic score where I was just the whole time.
They were so overcompensating for everything else being bad that
Why on earth did you have a Tron sounding score for Under the Frickin' Water?
Yep.
What is going on here?
But they're sharing their technology, Bradford.
And then remember when they used to have the talk bubble in Aquaman?
Yes.
Whoosh, talk bubble. Well, then you have the seahorse, which just looks like he's riding a cartoon.
Yeah,
the CGI was awful.
All the CGI was terrible.
We're talking, it looked like a freaking cartoon.
Oh, we had noise canceling whales.
And then in the credits, we're seeing like 100 people that worked on
and maybe more than
CGI.
that, actually.
It got to be more than that.
That list went on for a while.
There was 100 companies.
Did you find them on Fiverr? And sort by price low to high? Like, there's so much more.
I love it.
Fun fact: they did our original logo of the show.
I've used them too.
Yes, so have I.
Maybe Warner Brothers should have.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe they should have spent 10.
Turd sandwich. It was a turd. This was bad. It is a waste of your time. It is a waste to go see it. Jason Momoa, please just find something else. We love you, man. This is not it. This was nothing to be proud of. It is god awful. I sighed so hard so many times that I probably drew attention to myself. I took my 3D glasses off at one time to rub my face. That's how bad it was. I was trying to get myself just.
I went to the restroom and just tried to flush my eyes with water.
I tried to offer Bradford a 5-hour energy. He didn't want to take it.
I didn't need it. I didn't, because I was just waiting for I didn't need it. I didn't need it because I was like just coming up with every line in my head that I wanted to trash this film with.
In fact, the only reason I think any of us stayed awake was because we were thinking of lines to trash what we saw.
2.5.
It's clear.
I was mad. The only time I was mad at Jason Momoa was him insulting the intelligence of a cephalopod, which is an octopus. They are like the most intelligent creatures on Earth. They have like a brain in every tentacle.
They're smarter than half America.
Yes.
I mean,
easily. I just...
Put it away. Archive it.
Oh. We've been roasting Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom by an open fire. Now it's time to ask our big question.
The big question this week is, we're staying in the superhero realm a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
We know that Jonathan Majors, the troubled Jonathan Majors, has been dropped from Disney/Marvel.
Right.
He's no longer Kang the Conqueror. Apparently there's a clause in Jonathan Majors' contract, which I don't know if that's voided now. I don't know how all that works, but there's a clause in his contract that says he's the only one allowed to play Kang, any variant of Kang.
Really?
Period. So he can only act against himself if there was a scene like that. He can't act against, like, Donald Glover's a bad example, but Donald Glover, he can't do that, right? Okay, so that being said, let's assume for a second that Marvel gets to recast Kang. Okay? If they recast Kang, who are you casting as the new Kang, the Conqueror? And I'll go first to set the bar here.
Okay.
Because I'm outright stealing it. Colton Ogburn of Screen Crush had a phenomenal idea on a recent episode, and I cannot get it out of my head, which is where this question comes from. And my answer is Colton's, which is an older Kang, played by Denzel Washington. Because what do you need? What was Kang's biggest, or not Kang, what was Jonathan Majors' biggest asset? Was that fiery charisma on stage, just unbeatable pressure and just
intensity.
Intensity, great word for that. Denzel Washington, as we've seen in Training Day and about 1,000 other things, has that. He can bring it. And if he was an older version of Kang, holy crap, I'm here for it. That's my answer. Denzel Washington.
Wow. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
all props go to Colton. I didn't come up with that myself.
And obviously, I mean, he's one of our great actors, so he's going to do a great job with it. Because, like, you need a really good actor who can pull off that character. My joke answer was going to be Kristen Stewart, and I have no idea why.
Because it's funny.
That's why, right? Because my brain works that way. I was thinking, okay, you need an actor who can be a chameleon, right? Because they have to be variants, and So this is a little old, and he's already been a villain. But Willem Dafoe, I think, would do a great job if he wasn't already in the Marvel Universe as another villain.
As Green Goblin.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw him in Poor Things recently and just realized how good that guy is as an actor. He's just so interesting, and he would be a great Kang.
Okay.
Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
Not your best Desi Arnaz impression.
I wasn't trying to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There would be some explaining that they would have to dig down and probably do a whole series again if they did that. You can't toss Willem Dafoe.
Well, that's what I say in a hypothetical way.
Okay.
If he wasn't already in the Marvel Universe, he would be a great one.
Understood.
Got it. Understood. Okay. So I'm going to give an answer that I'd like to see, but I know will not happen. And then a true answer. Okay. It'd be really cool to see John Boyega get an opportunity to do something like this.
That's a great answer.
Because of the way that fans treated him with Star Wars and with what he personally wants, he's not going to go in that kind of venture of another fandom that's a series of things he has to sign on to. He dealt with too many toxic fans.
Right.
But he, as an actor, deserves more big opportunities to be in the limelight.
I agree.
He deserves a shot at that.
Yeah, he deserves a shot. So I would be going with John David Washington.
Ooh.
So
I like that.
Yeah,
Is there
Ballers, Black Klansman?
I was just going to say,
the creator.
What are you thinking about in his filmography?
I think he can bring intensity.
Yeah.
I think he can do the right kind of facial expressions, the right tone of seriousness as well too. I think he has the chops to pull off and not trying to mimic what Jonathan Majors is doing, but bring the same amount of intensity given the different types of roles he's been able to play and perform with.
Right. You think about this, right? Like, I know this legally they probably can't do this, or even if they even want to PR-wise, but Kang is the perfect person to recast of anybody in the MCU because he's a variant. The whole point of his character is that all of his variants who look different and are different and from different walks of life, right? They are going to take over the world, take over the universe.
So you're saying it could be Kristen Stewart.
So I'm saying it could be Kristen Stewart, yes.
Could be Willem Dafoe.
You really don't like my Willem Dafoe.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. I love Willem Dafoe.
I know. It was hypothetical.
I know it's hypothetical. I don't have to like it.
I was going to go Damon Wayans, but...
Oh, my God.
This has been something resembling the Untitled Film Project Podcast. Please.
This is the first time we've all hated on a movie, by the way, together. Because he was playing for Bradford, and then we were like okay with it. Not great, but okay with it. Again, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I hated it. You guys were okay with it,
right? Yeah. Violent Night.
Violent
you and I hated
he
it.
Liked
Bradford thought it was okay.
This is the first unanimous drubbing.
Yeah. It was unanimous 15 minutes in.
It was.
Yeah.
Based on body language alone, because I did one of these. I was like, we're gonna have fun.
I really tried to. I was like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
It's not going to be okay.
Not okay.
It's not okay.
If I wasn't looking at my watch, I would have just been looking at like my hairy wrist and going, how long is this going to go on?
I have more things to. I'm busy. I have better things to do, and those better things to do aren't just like play with my son and like play. No, it's like go to grocery shopping.
Stay away from my son.
It's not good. That I wasted 2 hours of my life in that.
Wait. Oh, I gotta put this in there.
Please do.
When you've seen the movie, if you're watching this, hopefully, or you just don't care about spoilers,
don't go see it.
When Aquaman's dad is stabbed, he lives. And everybody's screaming, and they do a slow motion fade out.
That was bad.
Oh my God, was that awful? Did you hear me go, you've got to be kidding me?
No, I did not hear you say
I said
that.
it to myself.
No, I did not.
And then I went, oh my God.
I was probably distracted by the loud thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
Of like, did that really just happen in a big budget movie?
I was screaming in my
slow-mo
head.
fade out and pan away. All three of those things. What?
It was. They seriously let a bunch of college students make this movie.
No.
That's an
College
insult
students are
to college
way more
students.
talented.
I understand that, but if you're a beginner college student,
No, I don't care. Do not insult college
Yeah,
students. They'll
internship.
come for us in the comments. Please do not do that.
They didn't even, yeah.
Nope. We're not insulting anybody like that. We're
Those
insulting
peop-
the movie.
Those people got into college for a reason.
Yep. These people made a movie to try to make money, and they're going to fail at it.
it's going to be so bad.
And next week we're going to hear the announced streaming date for this already.
You know what? And it'll be warranted for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Blue
January
Beetle,
2nd.
Ooh,
Probably.
I'm waiting for the 6-hour Zack Snyder cut.
We should do an over-under on the date for streaming.
All right. January 31st.
I'm going to take the under.
The under, really?
I think it's going to bomb.
Yeah, that
It's
quickly.
going to be bad.
And they're going to be
Okay.
like, we need to go ahead and get it on
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to have great. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Weekend box office sales.
because
No,
no
because-
reviews came out yet.
Right.
Right? Like,
they're
at that
protected against
point.
those. And then the next week it's going to drop by like 80%. I mean, it's going to be some massive.
I don't know if great is the right word. I think this makes at most 50 to 60 mil.
It's got to cost them, what, $200-300 million?
Like, and that's low because there's a
Easily.
lot of competition, especially family movies. You have Migration.
Wish.
You still have, and Wish is done. Wonka and Migration. Right there.
Yep.
Color Purple is going to get so many people coming out. The Iron Claw has its audience that it's going to attract. There are so many films out there that people are going to choose over this. This is the last effort that they're going to go for. Other ones people I think really want to see. This one has been a meh sandwich since the beginning.
People have said, like this is a car accident, like right from the beginning.
They might go to see how bad it is because they're seeing people like us say it's bad. They might, I got to see it for myself. I have AMC A-List or Regal, whatever it is, so it doesn't cost me any money. I'm going to go.
Does this rival Catwoman? I think that's a legit question right now.
I don't know.
That is a legit question. It's different eras. So
No,
Yeah.
right, but Halle Berry, like Jason Momoa, gave that film everything she had. Like, I watched
wasn't enough.
Catwoman thinking, like, about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes in, I feel sorry for you.
Right.
That you had to be in this. Because she gave it everything, but it was so horrible.
I'll say, my opinion on this is I think this is worse because there are so many reasons now to know what you should be doing to make a good superhero movie.
Okay.
Back then, they didn't have as many resources.
Uncharted
They didn't have
territory.
as many people that had knowledge about this too. Now, especially in the second movie, it's the third or fourth one to feature Aquaman. They had way too many resources for it to be this much.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I have a little bit of beef with you, Bradford, because you said, if somebody's got like the movie pass where they pay a certain amount for a month and they go to see this movie, it doesn't cost them anything. It costs part of your soul.
I know.
Part of your soul will
I will
never
give you
come
that.
back to you.
I will give you that. I'll go take a dump on November.
Untitled Film Project Podcast. Don't go see it. Follow us.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.